kind. The speaker was a physicist born...
Emmanuel Seagull.
Albert Einstein.
Correct.
Great to have you with us, Bobby Seagull. And I should let our international viewers know that many people tune into that, and then you became a viral hit, I think it's fair to say. But talk me through why you're using maths to try and find love.
Yes, so as a part-time school maths teacher, I know that people often have a negative perception of the subject. I just say the word maths, often people are running off in the other direction. So I thought I wanted to write a book that showed that maths is everywhere, whether it's in the gym or cooking or something that's quite unrelated to maths, you'd think, dating and love.
Well, they do say it's a numbers game. So just tell us briefly, Bobby, what did you decide to do to try and find the one?
Yes, so initially it's trying to find other models that exist out there. And there's something called the Drake equation, which is an equation set up in the 1960s, which scientists use to try and estimate the number of intelligent civilizations in our galaxy. And I thought, maybe I can adapt that, as other mathematicians have done, to try and find out how many potential partners I have.
And how many do you think you have?
OK, so with this, I come up with the number of 73, which is a prime number.
OK.
And it's funny enough because my mother's always been banging on saying, oh, Bobby, you need to get married, stop wasting time writing books, teaching, go and get married, find a girlfriend. And I initially said, actually, let me sort of come up with a PowerPoint presentation to show my mother why I'm single or why the odds are stacked against me.
OK, so that was a little tongue-in-cheek. But with these 73, and you put yourself out there, I imagine, to date these potential people that fit certain characteristics, which I'm sure dating websites do as well.
Yes.
All our viewers are going to want to know, have you been successful?
Well, I'm here as I'm still single. But I think one of the things that maths has also shown me is how many dates that I might need to go on. So imagine at 73, let's be a bit more optimistic. So I can go on 2 dates a week for, let's say, 5 years. Let's say I wanted to stop being single for 5 years. So 2 dates a week, 50 weeks roughly, 100 dates. Over 5 years, 500 dates. Maths will tell me how many dates I need to go on. And there's something called E, the exponential in maths, an exponential curve. And actually it's related to something called the 37% rule. So what maths tells me is that I need to go on 37% of the 500 dates. So that's 185 dates. And once those 185 dates are done, I have to ignore all of them. So even if one of them loves Love Island, Bake Off, Universe Challenge, likes Verdi, Beethoven, Stormzy, all the things that I like, I still have to reject all of them. But after 185, the next person I date that's better than all the previous, mathematics says you're optimally most likely to meet. It's called optimal stopping theorem.
So have you gone on all these number of dates to get to the optimal?
I've gone on less than 10 so far. This partly, again, my mother says to me, Bobby, stop writing books and reading. Go on dates.
But Bobby, you're so well known. I mean, you had all this fame, the amount of people you must have met from University Challenge. You didn't encounter anyone? Because I'm also wondering whether maths can kind of predict that spark.
That's a very good question, because I think that's one thing where maths currently fails. But I think longer term, with things like AI, technology, in the same way which I'm a big sports and West Ham fan, and currently computers can simulate matches, tournaments. And I think longer term, if we input in people's characteristics, computing can sort of simulate dates without having to go on them, perhaps.
So are you still dating? Where are you, would you say, in your mathematical equations?
I'm very early on. So let's say I've got 185 dates to go on. I've done about 7, 8 or 9. So I need at least another 175 plus. Then I can say that I'll have to trust the maths and say the next person better than the first 185.
And I know it can be a, what would I say? A tiring or exhausting, perhaps, process of having to go on all of these dates. Why have you not gone on more if you know the answer?
Again, this is where human frailty comes into play. So you go on a date and you're really excited, you sort of match on paper mathematically, and you meet them and the spark isn't there. So then you're sort of despondent for a few weeks going, oh, I got really excited for Helena, but she wasn't quite right. So then you need to sort of resort back to your maths and go, let's get back in the game.
I have to mention the book. This is the life-changing magic of numbers. Perhaps you can see it there. And yeah, life-changing magic of numbers. It touches on lots of things apart from the love aspect. But I have to say, you've outlined yourself. You're going to meet millions of people who are watching you right now. So I want an invite to the wedding, OK?
Yes, you will. 5 years, after the 185th date, though.
Bobby Seagull, it's very nice to have you in, and I wish you all the best in your dating.
Thank you, Noura.
And thank you very much for watching here on GMT. It's been wonderful to have your company, and I do hope that you'll stay with us here on